Here we are again. It's Thursday, so it is about time for us, you and me, to figure out what we will be watching this weekend in terms of motorsport. My name is Pia. We are here at RacePlazaMedia, and every Thursday we take a look ahead to the weekend to find out what is happening in terms of motorsport that you can tune into this weekend. And let me tell you, there's lots of racing ahead of us, not just this weekend, but this whole month of April. We have over 180 racing events happening all over the world. So there's a lot for you to tune in. And especially this weekend, there's so much racing happening in the United States of America alone. So let me point some things out for you. First off, we have the GT World Challenge America happening in Sonoma County, California. My brother and I had the pleasure of going there last year, and it was a weekend I will never forget. So much fun racing, so much variety in racing. You get to be very close to the cars, to the drivers. You get to meet people. I mean, it was a fantastic experience, and it was also very, very cheap. We made a video to recap our experience last year. This year, we decided not to go because instead we will be attending the Long Beach Grand Prix in just a few weeks. But on the other hand, another great thing about this race weekend, or the GT World Challenge America, is that all of the races will be available for you to watch on YouTube for free. So definitely tune into those. Last year we had some really exciting races in all the different categories: GT4, GT, TC, and many, many more. So definitely tune in for that. And who doesn't like some free racing? And do you know who else is racing in the United States this weekend? MotoGP, Moto2, and Moto3. They all will be racing in Austin, Texas at the Coda track. And I am so excited for the guys to be returning. It's been a really fun season so far, as long as you are a Marquez fan, for either brother, actually. So I'm very much looking forward to this weekend. Unfortunately, Jorge Martin won't be returning quite yet. We wish him well and a speedy recovery, but I'm still very much looking forward to this weekend because I remember Coda last year was an excellent race, which got me really into MotoGP. So I have a lot of expectations going into this weekend's race, but I just want to be entertained, have fun, watch some great racing, and maybe we'll have another repeat of a 1-2 Marquez podium. And of course, a race weekend here in the US wouldn't be a race weekend without some NASCAR. We have NASCAR Xfinity Series, we have the NASCAR Cup Series, we have the NASCAR Craftsman Series, all competing in Virginia at the Martinsville Speedway. And in addition to that, we also have the NASCAR Milan Modified Tour racing this weekend. However, they will be racing at the Thompson Speedway. So again, lots of NASCAR also happening. So you have sports car racing, you have stock car racing, you have two-wheeled racing, and on top of that, you also, of course, have Supercross this weekend. The guys are returning yet again for Supercross. This time here on the West Coast, they will be competing up in Seattle this weekend. So I'm very much looking forward to this race. I was not able to watch last weekend's race, unfortunately, but this weekend, I have to watch it. I'm so looking forward to it. This season has been really unpredictable, really fun. Lots of twists and turns so far. So I'm very much looking forward to see what the guys are up to this weekend, the 450SX and as well as the 250 West Coast boys. And to round up all of the racing that's happening here in the US this weekend, or at least the majority. I didn't name every single one race that's happening here. But of course, I do want to give a mention to some drag racing that's happening this weekend here at the Pomona Strip. And of course, the World of Outlaws will be competing again this weekend in their sprint race category. So as you can see, there's lots of racing happening just here in the US alone. But don't you fret, there's even more racing happening outside of the US. I will name a couple more for you here just so you have options for this weekend. I mean, I think you have plenty of options already, but if those are not enough, let me name a couple more for you. If you want some more two-wheeled racing, we have Superbike World Championship happening in Portugal this weekend, so you can definitely tune in for that as well. The Australian Superbike Championship is also happening this weekend in Sydney, so you have even more two-wheel racing right there. But if you're maybe missing some Formula One this weekend, since the guys are taking a break after we just received this big news of Yuki Tsunoda replacing Liam in Red Bull, the upcoming race in Yuki's home race in Japan, which is very exciting, but we'll talk about that more in our full podcast episode. Yes, you heard right. We are now officially a podcast as well. We post our weekend recap videos. The full audio is available on Spotify for you, but if you still want to watch our videos, we break it up into a little bit of smaller increments on YouTube and we spread it out throughout the week. So we will talk about the big Yuki trade, which was expected, but it's happening maybe a little bit sooner than expected. But there's no Formula One this weekend. However, if you still long for some single-seater open-wheel racing, don't you worry. We also have the junior leagues competing, and we're here at RacePlazaMedia are huge advocates of the junior leagues because they're still so fun. For example, we have Formula 4, the Spanish Championship, happening this weekend in Aragon, and we also have Formula 4 racing happening here in the United States in New Orleans. So there's some options for you there. Also, the Formula Regional United States will be competing in New Orleans. So there's lots and lots of more racing happening here in the US, even single-seaters. I think maybe we're getting ready to have a US citizen on the grid with Cadillac in 2026. I don't know. That might be a little bit putting the horse before the carriage. It might be a little bit too soon, but we're definitely getting some candidates ready. All right, I think I will leave you with all of these options. So you have lots of racing options here in the US. You have two-wheel racing, you have four-wheel racing. You also have some of those racings overseas in Europe. There's a lot more that's happening this weekend, but I think this is a good place for you to start so you can watch or pick what racing you'll be tuning into this weekend. Do let me know what you'll decide on watching. I will for sure watch MotoGP, 100,000% I'll be watching MotoGP, as well as Supercross. So this weekend might be a little bit more emphasis on two-wheel racing for me personally. I do want to check out some of the GT World Challenge America, just because last year was so amazing. I'm sure there will be some great racing in that aspect this weekend as well, but we will see how much time I have on my hands. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you'll be watching this weekend, and then have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your weekend, watch lots and lots of racing, and we will be back here on Monday with our first recap on YouTube and a full recap week of racing video on Spotify on Monday. So tune in for either or for both. We would love to have you either way. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you soon. Bye.